Sure is pretty empty. See, we got some construction work over here. It must be working on something. This is Grand Central Station, post-election day. This is Dominic Olivo with another one of your video travel vlogs here, and I'm located at the Grand Central Station, 42nd Street, where I'm going to be taking my next uptown train to the Bronx. I'm going to take you all the way through my old neighborhood. Now you've seen me do a bunch of city videos within this past year since I've had this travel vlog. But this is more down to home and this is personal. So I'm going to ask that you do bear with me. I'm going to take you through my old neighborhood and I'm going to give you a run through and give you guys a little bit of scoop and as to how I got into these kind of videos and how I was made growing up. So hope you guys will stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Hey, so I know I look kind of silly with this on like this, but nonetheless, I'm at my old neighborhood, as you can see right behind me. We are located at the Mott Haven section of the South Bronx. This was my original birthplace, and I'm going to go through and give you a run through. I'm going to be walking and legging this entire trip. I'm going to take you from the beginning all the way to the end. So I'm going to ask that you do bear with me as I make this video. I made a similar video actually about 4 years ago around this time, but it was on Facebook, but these were broken into segments. I'm going to put this together into one big segment, and I know it's been a long while since I've done videos like this, but I'm going to go ahead and do this again. Some slight changes. This is not what I remembered. There's been some added changes. There's new buildings. A lot has changed in 20 years. That's the train station that I just came from. So throughout the duration of the video, I'm going to be walking most of the time. I'm going to give you guys again a run through. This is Mott Haven section of the Bronx. You'll definitely see some pictures too. I was here 4 years ago on my birthday when I did this, and I broke these into segments. I'm gonna go across this intersection right here. Like I said, you're gonna be seeing a lot of walking, so bear with me here. Don't get tuned out, don't get bored as I'm taking you through all this. This is where I used to live. I know, can you imagine a guy like me, a 31-year-old man living in a big city like this? I tend to be a very quirky person, so yeah, this was my birthplace. Nonetheless, back then it was kind of hostile. Today it's a pretty quiet day. It's a nice sunny day. I'm gonna take you to where, not that the video matters to most of you, but this does hit true and dear to my heart, and it is really personal, so I'm doing this vlog on the behalf. I'm gonna show you where me and my family used to live. And pretty much what made me the man that I am today. See, so right here, this is the building that I used to live. This was actually the second apartment complex. I'm gonna show you guys the first apartment complex that I lived in, but this was my second. I lived here from 1996. I think it was around 96. It's about 1996 to early 2003. That's when I lived here. And I lived here for the vast majority of almost 6.5 years. This was our window. So we lived in this complex right here. So it's under some construction right here. I'm not going to go inside the building, but this is just to give you guys an idea. They're doing some construction here. This is where I would wait for my bus stop to go to school. I know this is very personal. But sometimes, in order to appreciate what you have to go back and reflect how we were growing up as kids. Sometimes you have to go back and reflect on how you used to be. Because these experiences help to shape the person that you are today. Sometimes you gotta revisit things like this. So I'm giving a run through. Again, this is the park. This is where my brothers and sisters, we would go outside to play. Don't be alarmed by all the garbage that you're seeing. They're just doing some work right now. I haven't been to this area in almost 2 years. Since Christmas week around 2018 was the last time I came here. It's not often that I come here, but every now and then I like to come and revisit and get nostalgia. I don't make these trips pretty often, and it's not often that I do these vlogs. But nonetheless, this was the playground. I think my brothers and sisters and I, we've played here at least once or twice throughout our lifetime. So I'm going to tell you guys a brief story, and this is just from my personal perspective and my personal experience so far on life on this earth. I'm going to tell you a little story on my family background. So, as you may or may not know, or have already been aware, I lived in this area for the vast majority of my life up until I was 13 years old. This is where my grandmother used to live. So for the vast majority of my life, I've been born and raised in the United States. My parents, however, from my understanding, my grandparents, they were born and raised in Puerto Rico. They didn't migrate to the United States until like the early to late 1940s. My grandmother was born in 1926, so she would have been 94 years old today. God rest her soul. But she migrated along with my grandfather when she was around her early 20s. I want to say when she was 21 or 22. And when she gave birth to my dad, this is where they resided. Now I'm walking through. See all this construction here. And this right here, I'm gonna walk a little up ahead. Good morning, how you doing? Excuse me?
Uncle, inna kasi mada piya na.
This right here is my first apartment. Before I moved into the smaller complex, this was my very first apartment. I live with my mom and dad here. I was in the 12th story. This is a 13-story building. I live in the 12th floor. So that's where I was before I moved into the other apartment projects. But this doesn't tell the entire story. I'm going to take you through most of the Bronx. But that just gives you a slight idea. That just gives you a gist. You see all this construction here. It looks a lot smaller to me now because I got bigger. This is where me and my dad, my brothers and sisters, we would come to this store right here. This is the pharmacy right here. That's where we go get snacks and sandwiches and gum. We come to this store all the time when we were little kids. They changed the brand name, but this was the store nonetheless we went to. See, as we're walking here, we're located at 145th Street. Again, at the Mott Haven section. This is where my brother went to middle school. Used to be MS 149. It is now MS 213. They changed the name. I noticed this when I came here years ago, a few years ago. My brother went to school here for about a year or two. So I'm walking through, there's some construction here. This is called MS 213. This used to be MS 149. Here, walking through, there's a lot of construction in these parts. So much craziness going on and all this construction. I've never seen this much construction. Important to note that schools are still on lockdown due to COVID-19, and yes, I'm wearing my mask, and I have my sanitizer, and I have my wipes. So I am good on my end. I come extra prepared. I'm gonna walk across the street here. And I know it's a lot, so again, bear with me. I think it was either MS-213 or MS-243, one of the two. But this school is under construction. We are on Willis Avenue. Here's something I didn't notice. So they made this into a bike lane. That's the bus stop. Oh, they can't walk here. It's a one-way street. I could have swore this was a two-way street. Maybe I'm just imagining it. I remember at one point this used to be a two-way street. If I'm not mistaken, this was the elementary my sister went to. This is PS 49. Oh, they changed the name. Well then, okay. I remember this being PS 49. I guess that's the new name. It used to be elementary school, now this is a middle school. So they did a lot with this building, huh? I'm gonna go across the street here. Yep, this looks totally different. The buildings are painted different. The gates used to be rainbow color. And I'm pretty sure that I was standing right at the exact same spot that my brother graduated elementary school several years ago. I'm not going to give the year, but that just tells you right here. I stood at this exact spot. My zoom from this camera is not that great. Sometimes I have to hold the camera still because it gets very blurry. So that's MS-224. All these school name changes. This is a School of Science. Yes, I'm going all the way in. I'm digging very deep here. This is personal. Because as I said, again, and I have my fingers over the speakers. This used to be my old birthplace. I lived here for the vast majority up until I was a teenager in 7th grade. This area right here, this looks pretty different. So yeah, I would have never recognized these buildings. But this is East 149th Street. I'm gonna go ahead and walk before the light turns red. I can't quite run. My feet are pretty sore, but I'm a trooper. I'll be all right. I could wing it. St. Anne's Park is right over there. I'm not going to take you through everything, but that just shows you this is where my brothers and sisters, we would come here and play too. I'm getting ready to walk underneath the subway. On the sidewalk, I'm gonna take it easy. Yes, I'm wearing my running shoes. These are running shoes. I got these months ago for autism awareness because, as most of you already know, I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome from a pretty young age, and I decided to order these and wear these. I bet people living in this city can't stand that noise. That's the 2 and 5 subway line. This is coming from Jackson Avenue. It's going to 149th Street. So, I'm just coming over from Jackson Avenue. There's the train right over there. Sorry for the angle. But, as you have gathered, this is primarily Puerto Rican, Hispanic, black neighborhood. This was where I grew up, like I said. They do have restaurants in the area. There was this one restaurant that I went to years ago. It's called Cuchi Fritos. They got some Hispanic food, wide variety of cuisines, rice dishes, all that good stuff. I may have went there at least once or twice throughout my lifetime. It's not here, it's actually a little bit ahead down that way, but I'm not going to take you to that. I'm going to take you to my old elementary school. These are the buildings. This right here, guys, is where I went to elementary school. I went to Ponce de Leon Elementary School, kindergarten to 5th grade. From 95 to early mid-2000. This is where I went to middle school, or elementary school, excuse me. So the name hasn't changed, but the color and the buildings and the gating has changed. Those are the main doors. This is public school. So that's that, and I'm gonna go ahead and take you legging the rest of the trip all the way through. Let's walk ahead. So currently I'm on the intersection of O'Neill Place and East Gun Hill Road. I just got off the number 5 train. Where my last destination was at Prospect Avenue. So now I'm on this section and I'm gonna go ahead and walk to my old middle school. Show you guys what the deal is with that. And I'll tell you a little brief story about it. All these buildings up ahead. That's Co-op City. You can't see that behind the trees, but I'm not gonna make this slide, I'm gonna have to wait. It's all good though. That is Bay Plaza up ahead, New England Thruway, I-95, and the Hutchinson Parkway. So I shouldn't be that long. No, I'm a pretty slow walker. This because I'm wearing running shoes. My feet do hurt because of the type of shoes that I wear. So I'm just taking it easy. Lo and behold, yes sir, so let me go ahead and tell you a little brief story. I know I look kind of silly with this on. By the way, I got these customized masks. I ordered these online. It's got my logo, it's got my birth month and my birth year. I ordered this a month ago in preparation for my birthday, which was a couple of days ago. It's got my birth year and my birth month. These are pretty nice. These are face masks. Remember, it's important to know we are living in the pandemic. It's COVID-19, so we have to be safe, practice our social distancing. So going off to tangent here, this was my middle school. And how this all started. So I started here in the 6th grade, and in my last video vlog that I made talking about my situation on my other vlog, it's been almost nearly a year ago since I've made a video talking about it, but during this time, back in early 2000, late 2000, early 2001, they didn't have a grade system. So I went to this middle school here. I was in special ed, but I was at a school where kids couldn't really talk and articulate. This is where I went to school. I went to this school here about a year or two ago before I left to be with my big sister, who raised us, and we lived with her for the time being. We lived in Kingston. We moved up from the big city. This is the play park. This is where all the kids come together to play. That's our little play area. That's where all the buses were parked. So this is not going to be a very long video vlog. I hope I didn't tune you guys out. I know there's a lot of walking and talking, but I wanted to give you guys an idea and show you I'm a living testament that you don't have to have muscles, you don't have to have good looks, you don't always have to attribute all these things. It's our struggles that make us who we are today. This is where it all started. It all started here at 13 years old. I didn't really know where I saw myself. I didn't really interact with the kids at the time when I first moved up to Kingston. It was very awkward for me. I didn't know how to adapt. I have nostalgia looking at this building. But again, yes, that's my old middle school. I went to this school from 2000 to early 2003. It's only 2.5 years. I didn't even graduate this school. I left off in 7th grade because, again, they didn't have a grade system. If you haven't had a chance to check out my last vlog, it's 43 minutes long. It talks about the current situation that I currently live with. I made this nearly a year ago, and I encourage you guys to go check that out. The vlog is still up. It'll be almost a year since I made the video, and it goes a little bit in depth of who I am as a person and what I live with and how I got to be where I'm at today. The young man that I strive to be each and every single day. Though these video vlogs may not be everything, it's a start to get somewhere. And really, I'm just a young man with, you know, a developmental disability, acquiring skills, and to really share some inspirational stuff, to be a testament that I can inspire someone with my talents. And that's pretty much it. This is the video that I'll leave off with. I'm going to conclude this video and continue on to my duties. If there's time left over, maybe I might go check out the museums. But being mindful, again, we are living in times of uncertainty, and we just had election day. That was yesterday. So we're still waiting to hear the number of votes that were placed in. We have to have 270 electoral votes for both parties. So that's still up and pending. So again, please be on the lookout. And I hope to have more video vlogs. I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll talk to you soon.